Welcome to the weekly Royal Recap, where we do just that, recap the week in royal news. My name is Madeline, and each week I will be taking you through royal news with a bit of commentary and context. I want to introduce myself to you guys, so if you don't care about the face behind the mic, go ahead and skip right on to this week's news. So, as you've heard, my name is Madeline, and I have been making content about the royals for the last 5 years or so, across many different platforms, and I ran a book club when Prince Harry's Spare hit these shelves, and I have been an avid royal watcher for many years. So the ultimate goal of this podcast and YouTube channel and space is really to create a relationship with viewers where we can discuss royal related topics and news without breaking into an argument. Obviously, it's a very polarizing topic for many different reasons, but I don't think arguing is a means of productive conversation. Now, besides creating this weekly series, I also share commentary on Substack, and I am expanding now my YouTube channel. I have a degree in history, and I have worked in the past, although I am currently laid off, unfortunately, in marketing. I would love to break into the news sector in a more professional way. You can get in contact with me at royallymadbusiness@gmail.com. And I'm sure there's more you'll learn about me as these episodes progress. Let's dive into the news this week. So this is old news at this point, but over the weekend it was revealed that Prince William pays a £7 million income tax on his earnings. Majority of his income, I will say, comes from the Duchy of Cornwall. Now that income tax does put him at I believe it is 0.002% of highest UK taxpayers. Now, William paying income tax is completely voluntary. We do know he pays the highest rates, which is 45%. So if you don't know what the Duchy of Cornwall is, it is a 135,000 acre estate which holds around 3,000 properties, and it is valued at around 1.1 billion today. Again, I think the Duchy of Cornwall, to better understand it, deserves its own video because it's very interesting in the way that it works, and I think it can be kind of confusing because there's also like the Duchy of Lancaster, so it's like I think it deserves its own like explainer video. So I just thought that was interesting. Now, like, this does come at a time, I don't want to say it comes at a time of financial scrutiny, because I think the royals have always been under scrutiny in terms of how they're funded, how they use that income. Like, that criticism has always existed, but I think now more so than ever, it's such a sensitive topic because I don't want to get too into like a political thing, but the economy right now is just not good. And I think when we talk about, like millionaires and billionaires and, the top earners in the world, I think it definitely is a point of tension for a lot of people. If you want to learn more about royal finances and really see it for yourself, the Sovereign Grant Report, which does not include the duchies, okay, because that's a private income that is separate. It is audited privately. It is also published on their own websites, I believe, and presented to Parliament in a separate manner. But the Sovereign Grant is what funds the royals' official duties, and that breaks down everything from like number of engagements and what went to what in terms of costs. So check that out. It's a really interesting read through. Moving on, we had some very exciting news coming from Princess Eugenie and husband Jack Brooksbank. Monday, they announced that they are expecting their third child. The couple have 2 kids now, August and Ernest. In my opinion, this is quite positive, I would argue good press for Princess Eugenie after the whole the issue of Andrew, essentially. The sisters, Beatrice and Eugenie, have not had the best press, and they've been asked not to attend, or they've pulled out, we're not sure. Royal Ascot, and they also weren't there for the private family Easter service. So, eyes were on them and eyes were on the royal family to see if they would be there, and they weren't. So baby announcements are always fun and exciting. So I think that, was some good news coming out of them. Now, on Tuesday, the Prince of Wales visited the Yorkshire Dales to highlight sustainability and farming communities. He also visited the Dales Bike Center and picked up a box of cakes. And on his visit to Crow Tree Farms, he spoke with multi-generational farmers about the challenging aspects of modern farming, and also about the topic of income diversification in terms of building financial security, which I think is a bit odd coming off the weekend where the news broke about his £7 million income tax. Some exciting news. Kate is taking her early years work to northern Italy for what is being called a fact-digging trip. The city that she is visiting is, and so sorry if I'm pronouncing this bad, is Reggio Emilia. It's a city known for its quality of life and child-centered education. Obviously, this is her first trip since her cancer diagnosis, of which she is in remission from. I would say the early years work for Kate is like her very much a passion project of hers for many years. She has always sort of focused on meeting with organizations that centered around social issues, and then to enter into like the 2020s with her work within the early years sector. I think it's definitely something that as she continues to work within and promote, something that will definitely define her royal work. It certainly already has to a point, but I think as, the years go on, it definitely will be something that is talked about as sort of Kate's thing. So we can look forward to that on May 13th and 14th, which is next week. Oh my gosh, the months are going by so fast. And then Wednesday, she visited the University of East London to meet with families and students planning careers in the early years sector to discuss the latest launch from the Royal Centre of Early Childhood, being that of a guide called the Foundations for Life, a guide to social and emotional development. And I absolutely loved her look for this engagement. I don't have the pictures in front of me to like pull up. I guess I could look them up, but if I just remember it was like a neutral sort of like suit and pants matching. When it comes to like her early years work, where she's sort of, it's really seen as work, and she's gone for a neutral color. And I want to say, again, that choice to go for a more neutral color I think that was maybe a strategic choice to sort of put the attention onto the early years work, onto the focus of why she's there in the first place, which is discuss that guide that is coming out, and less on her look. We do obviously know she owns bright colors, and yeah, I just think it's interesting to see. Now, before I cover other royals, I cannot not mention the Met Gala. So that took place last weekend, and I am not a fashion commentator or expert in any means, but I did see that Anna Wintour, her like number one guest that she wants so badly to attend is Kate. And I think I read that she had tried, now this is her second time trying to get Kate to attend, and Kate did not. I posted something on my Substack maybe a year or two ago, when the question of if Kate would be seen as Vogue's global fashion icon, which is like a title they do. And I sort of broke down why Kate wouldn't want to be seen as that. And I think her not attending the Met Gala is just one of those reasons. Also, she's very strategic in her like non-work appearances, and I know that article breaks that down. So if you are interested in reading more about that, I will link that below as well. And if I forget to link anything, please like let me know, because I'm sure I will forget. Okay, so garden party season is officially among us. The king and queen hosted a garden party despite the rain at Buckingham Palace, honoring UK frontline workers. And then the next day, on Friday, the Prince and Princess of Wales hosted a garden party, looking like much better weather. And I really enjoyed Kate's look this garden party. Marking his first as king, Charles attended the service of dedication and commemoration for the Order of St. Michael and St. George, recognizing service abroad or in foreign and Commonwealth affairs. So this is held every 4 years, and so it would make sense that this is Charles' first time attending. And then finally, just a quick mention of 2 new portraits that were revealed, one of Queen Camilla by Paul Benny and one of Princess Anne by Louise Pregnell. Both of these portraits are absolutely gorgeous, and definitely if you have the time, take a look at these. These are so lovely. And now I know that I did say finally before, but I do have to mention before I go that David Attenborough turned 100 and he celebrated his birthday at the Royal Albert Hall in London, and the King and Prince of Wales were in attendance. Now, in a video, King Charles sent a birthday message using animal friends to help deliver that message, and it is a very cute and adorable video, and it's so well done, like very well produced. But it's obviously very fitting for Charles because environmental protection has very much been his thing. And also, obviously, David Attenborough is very well known for his work within the nature sector. And that is going to take us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching wherever you are. And if you want to hear more, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, rate, do whatever you need or want to do. If you have any feedback, let me hear it. And if you have any suggestions for future videos on my YouTube channel, let me know. And I hope everyone has a lovely weekend.